Hey, what's up, everyone? So, the iPhone 12 Pro Max has been out for almost a year and a half now, and to most, it's one of the best iPhones out. I mean, look at it. It's got a great camera, a great build, and this phone has turned into my main camera and smartphone of choice since its release. But the question we're here to answer is how good of a phone is it in 2022? If you're considering upgrading, how will the iPhone 12 Pro Max stand up against the iPhone 14? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look at some of the key specs of the iPhone 12 Pro Max, kind of compare them to the current king of iPhones, the 13 Pro Max, as well as talk a little bit about what we can expect to see with the 14 later on this year. So starting out with the 12 Pro Max display. This 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR with a resolution of 1284 pixels by 2778 pixels. And all that means that the display is super sharp. It is great for gaming or watching 4K content. The accurate colors and compared to the iPhone 13 Pro resolution, this resolution pixels density is the exact same thing. Now, the difference is going to be the refresh rate. So with the 12 Pro Max, what was disappointing is that it only had a refresh rate of 60 hertz compared to the 120 hertz on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now, this is something that not a lot of people are going to notice, but that having a higher refresh rate does mean that you will eat up some battery. Even though this display has been optimized to save itself, meaning it's going to lower the refresh rate when you're not doing a whole lot of things, it's still something to consider. I mean, Apple does make excellent displays, and this has shown to hold its place over the last year since its release. And me personally using all this time, I mean, this phone, like I said, has been my main go to for camera and creating content. It has never disappointed me. It is one of the first things that I noticed when I bought this phone and took it outside of the box. It continues to impress me to this day. And now, thing number two that I like the most about still using this phone in 2022 is its camera quality. Now, on the back, we've got a triple lens camera set up. Each of those cameras are going to be rated at 12 megapixels. Lenses wise, we've got a 26 millimeter wide, 65 millimeter telephoto, and a 13 millimeter ultra wide. So this phone can still take great pictures during both the day and at night. Now, camera quality has always been one of the biggest bragging points of having an iPhone, and the 12 Pro Max still holds up. Video wise, we can record 4K up to 60 frames per second with 10-bit HDR. This means for allowing more color accurate correction. Now, the 13 Pro Max camera still has the same megapixels, but the lenses do allow more light, which is another thing most people are not going to notice. That's mainly for us content creators and photographers. Another key point to note with the 13 Pro Max is its cinematic mode. Now, this feature is mainly done through software, not hardware. So, considering that the lens size is going to be the same thing on both the 12 and the 13, this does give the 12 a fair playing ground in 2022. All right, so now let's talk about the 12 Pro Max's processor and how it stands up to date. This phone has an A14 Bionic chip with a 6-core CPU and 4-core GPU, so it could flawlessly handle video playback and gaming. Now, those are flagship specs for 2020, but even right now, in 2022, it's still a good match for its competitors. Geekbench, though, compared to the 13 Pro Max's A15, there's a little bit difference. Even with running multiple apps, this phone is still no slouch. On the Geekbench single core scores, the iPhone 12 Pro Max came with a score of 1576, while the 13 Pro Max is rated at 1703. So again, there's not a huge gap. Even from the daily use that I've given this phone, it can still handle playing graphic heavy games without any drop frames or lag whatsoever. Now, one of my worst habits has been opening apps and leaving them open in the app switcher for days without closing them, especially on days where I'm filming. But I'm glad to let you guys know that even on those power hungry days, the 12 Pro Max can take anything that I throw at it. It is truly a beast. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is going to be the battery life. Now, after a year of moderate to normal use, this battery is still really good. It's a 3687 milliamp hour battery, which gets me about a day of use, and it's been my main content creation camera for almost all of the videos I have on this channel. So even after those days, I can get to near the end of the day without having to worry about charging it. So this phone does allow for fast charging with an advertised speed up to 50% in 30 minutes, and it is MagSafe compatible. GSM Arena's battery endurance test rated the iPhone 12 Pro Max at 95 hours of basic use before it dies, which is still pretty impressive. And as of now, I can still charge the phone up and not have to worry about having to charge it up again for a decent day or two, depending on what I'm doing. All right, and the last but certainly not the most least important thing that I love about this phone still is its build quality, because that is what made me choose this phone over all the others at the time. I mean, look at it. It doesn't get the respect that it deserves to me because it's just the craftsmanship. It's got a scratch glisted glass on the front, stainless steel band all around, frosted glass on the back. Now, though some people may call it a matte finish, to me it feels more like a frosted, but I mean, tomatoes, tomatoes. I mean, this phone is attractive, is what I'm trying to say. You do take a risk using it without a case, but in the near future, it will never not be one of the best looking phones out. And speaking of the near future, we've got rumors popping about what to expect with the iPhone 14. So let's take a little minute to talk about that. So as of now, the biggest of those rumors is going to be the notchless display. They're getting rid of that ugly notch that we've seen since the iPhone 10 and replacing it with this pill-shaped cutout. A titanium band is going to be replacing the stainless steel, and obviously we're going to see a bump in the camera specs like they do every year. But it is yet to be known if there's going to be a drastic change in how the phone looks compared to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And if this is based upon these rumors, I pretty much doubt that there will be. So the main question is it going to be worth the upgrade? We'll have to wait and see until the phone's release. I'll have an unboxing and review when that the phone does go on sale, so if you haven't, be sure to subscribe to the channel and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And of course, if you enjoyed this video. Until next time, thanks for watching. Hope you guys stay safe. Peace.